What? Welcome, everybody, to the Brandon and Ryan Hour. I'm Brandon,
And I'm Ryan.
and it's Thursday, and we're going to do the final installment of
Jack Ryan.
for our Thursday series review. All right, episode last.
Episode last instead
Yeah,
of episode
whatever.
8.
8, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, 8. So, episode 8, Star on the Wall.
Yep,
Yeah,
that is the name of it.
that is the name of it.
So, overall impression of it.
Could have been 5 minutes.
Okay, it was not though.
It could have been.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah. Your thoughts and impressions?
Thought it was much ado about nothing.
I mean, Much Ado About Nothing was more entertaining than that.
Yep. Yeah, so that's about it. It's one of my least favorite episodes of the entire season, and I feel like that's not what you want to end your season on.
Yeah,
You want to end your season on a high point, not one of your worst episodes.
it was the worst episode. I mean, not a significant amount. Well, maybe. I don't know. It's hard to tell. They're all so bad.
Yeah. I'd give this one maybe a 4, maybe even a 3. Okay.
A 2. And here's why I give it a 2. As I realized something during this episode. And he didn't do anything most of the season.
He ran a lot.
He ran a lot and he showed up places and told people to do things, but he didn't do much.
Okay, that's fair.
And yeah. So that was infuriating. And there was no suspense at all in the episode. You knew exactly how it was going to play out. There was no oh no moment where you're expecting. There was never a time when I was expecting something to happen and it didn't happen.
Yeah.
I could have written that episode.
Then you'd have more money if you had.
Yeah, and it would have been better. And it was episode 7. I watched the ending of episode 7 again before I watched 8 so I could remember what was going on because it's really hard to keep up with this show.
Mm-hmm.
And there's something in episode 7 and I was like, okay, maybe they're trying to throw like a huge curveball here at the end. And I was like, that would piss me off, but at least it would be something would happen. But no, they didn't. I was expecting more of the writers, I guess.
Well, you shouldn't expect that from Hollywood nowadays.
I guess. The title doesn't make any sense. Star on the Wall. Nobody dies.
Right. They just get accommodations at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
But it's not on a wall.
But the star on the wall thing is supposed to be for the
deceased
CIA agents.
Right.
Yeah. But no one died.
Uh-huh. Again, you are correct. Your powers of
literally
observation
no
are
one.
staggering. Yes.
Oh, no.
No.
One person.
There was, yeah.
The Secretary of Defense for Russia died.
For Russia. Yep.
Yeah, that was the only one who died. That's dumb. Anyway, what do you think?
What?
What are your thoughts on
I
the...
already gave my thoughts.
Why do you think it sucked?
Yeah, so there was almost zero action in it at all. It was just people going from one place to another and then talking the entire time.
Yep.
Like that's all the entire episode was. Go to this place. Okay, I'm here. Now I'm going to talk for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Go to this place. Oh, I'm going to talk now.
Yeah. I'm gonna get fake arrested. I'm gonna walk around underneath the Kremlin and just get arrested, and then they'll let me talk to the Secretary of Defense.
Right. All I have to say is I want to talk to the Secretary of Defense and
About
then mention the word
crossbow.
crossbow.
like he's just
Like-
going around telling everybody what crossbow is.
Yeah. But yeah, so and then there was one thing in the show or this episode that really aggravated me.
Mm-hmm.
So Jack Ryan is running up the mountain, right? He gets to the top and makes a phone call, and then he gets annoyed that whoever he called didn't answer. And then the helicopter stealths up behind him. There's no way he didn't hear that helicopter before he made the phone call.
Is a stealth helicopter okay, Ryan? They turn the blades on to spook him.
Like that made no sense. Like he's standing there, he's like, oh, and then you hear the helicopter, and I'm like, no, the helicopter is literally right behind him. There's zero chance he would not have heard that helicopter when he got up there.
And where that didn't make any sense at all anyway, because he had to travel somewhere and then walk up a mountain.
Yeah.
To get picked up by a helicopter that can go anywhere.
Yep. That's kind of what helicopters do.
And it wasn't even like an epic walk up a mountain scene. It was just, I'm walking here, got my satellite phone in my backpack. And it's literally been, all of 4 hours since he left Moscow?
Yep.
It made no sense.
Yeah. The helicopter thing really aggravated me.
And then,
like more than it should have, it aggravated me.
So what also didn't make sense is the helicopter went and picked him up, right? Then it took him out into the middle of the ocean.
Uh-huh.
To get dropped off on a ship that they couldn't land on.
Uh-huh.
Then they had to fly back home. How much gas is in this helicopter?
That's a good question.
And then the only part that was kind of entertaining was watching that guy push him out of the helicopter. Can you swim? Or how bad do you need to get on that?
Yeah,
boat?
but I feel like that was just a throwback to the Hunt for the Red October movie, because they do the same thing in that. He's can't get on the ship, or on the submarine, so they push him off and he has to swim to it.
You're
right.
I'm
90% sure that was just a copy and paste from that movie. Just,
yeah.
Hey, you guys remember this Jack Ryan movie, Hunt for Red October? Yeah, we're going to do the same thing. Just instead of a submarine, it's a battleship.
Yeah, I think I remember that. That didn't even click before. Because it's just so... You just see everything coming. When he says, how bad do you need to get on that boat?
Yeah.
He's going to push him off the boat. Or tell him to jump.
Yeah.
Like, if he would have just been like... It would have been better if he would have just thrown him off the helicopter, and then him and the pilot had a one-liner, you know?
Like, yeah, or if he would have asked, like, when they picked him up, how bad do you need to... Like, how important is this? And it would have said life or death then.
Yeah.
And then they get there, and then he just shoves him out.
He just shoves him out. And then to the pilot, he goes, well, he really needed to get on the boat.
Right.
Like, if there was some kind of... like, did ChatGPT write this?
I don't know, man.
So... Okay. So here's so because there's nothing exciting that happens in this episode. Everything is okay. There's so many stupid things.
What did you say?
There's so many stupid things.
Okay.
The like the Luca showing up and getting arrested on the boat, getting put in the brig, and then the captain has the XO watch him because he doesn't want the XO to interfere with him launching an attack on the U.S. ship.
Yeah, that's what Luca told that officer.
Yeah. What was he gonna do if Luca didn't show up? Was he just gonna be like, "Hey, will you go make my bed while I go launch
start a war?" Yeah.
What was he gonna do with him then?
Who knows? And then, what was Luca's plan when he got on the boat? Because he gets on the boat, guy tells him, "Hey, I'm going to take you to go see the commanding officer." Then he knocks him out and walks himself to the place where the commanding officer is, the ship captain is.
So I think what was happening, because he said you aren't expected, but he'll see you in his quarters. And then it looked like he was taking him somewhere else. So then he knocked him out, took his gun, and it looked like he went to the captain's quarters and was going to shoot him, or have a conversation.
But there was that other guy.
Gunpoint, but the other guy with the gun was there.
Yeah, but I don't know. I guess I didn't get that he was trying to take him somewhere else. It just, he said, "I'm going to take you to go see him," and then he knocks him out for no reason.
Well, the line with the "you're not expected" thing.
Right, I got that.
So, I mean, it's poorly written. We already established this. I did like, what did he say when he showed up to the dock? And he's like, "Where are your papers and what is your business?"
Yeah, he said, "Do you have papers and what's your business?"
Yeah.
And he shows him his ID, and then he says, "It's none of your business."
Yeah.
Or none of your concern. None of your concern is what he said.
It's none of your concern. Yeah, it's none of your concern. He's like, "Sorry, sir. Carry on." It's like, okay, that's a piece of paper I want to carry around. What's your business here? None of yours. Goodbye. Yeah. Like, he was the only kind of interesting character because I don't know, all the other characters sucked.
Okay.
Anyway, so there was that. Gets on the boat. The whole thing with Jack Ryan and the U.S. captain. Like, he's the whole time the U.S. captain's like, "All right, fine, you've already told me everything you have to say, but I don't really care anymore."
Yeah.
And then he still listens to him.
Yep.
And the president didn't listen to the CIA people. He was like, "I need more information. I need someone to verify the guy who we got verifying this stuff. I need somebody to verify him." Who are you talking about? I can't get a second on this, so let's start World War III.
Seems like a good plan. Yeah.
And then right after that, he promotes her to CIA
director or whatever. Yep.
It's like nobody in the show made decisions.
Yeah, that's fair.
The only one who made decisions was the Russian president at the end.
Okay.
And all of the bad guys. But everybody else was just like, let's just wait and see. I'm the president of the United States, but Me? I'm not gonna call the Russian president and be like, "Hey, what the f are you doing?"
Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah,
Just
you guys got boats out there shooting at us. We got a problem. I feel like that would be a phone call you'd want to make.
right.
Because if
Because yeah, if he would have called the Russian president, hey, what's going on? I just had to kill someone who was trying to start a coup. Oh, there's a boat out there? Blow it out of the water and we'll be fine. They're traitors.
yeah, or he makes a phone call and they put him on hold, then you're like, oh crap, maybe this is legit. And now
Yeah.
Russia's going off the wagon and starting World
Right.
War III, right? Like there's your verification. You don't have to. Yeah. Anyway, stupid. Let's see. Nothing else happened, did it?
No, not really. I mean, there was a whole lot of talking. Jack Ryan with the captain on the U.S. boat
Yeah.
on, what was it? I think they said it was the Roosevelt.
The Roosevelt. Yeah, it was a Roosevelt, and
then the
Fearless?
Fearless was the Russian ship.
Yeah.
And yeah, just a whole lot of talking. And that was it.
Oh, and then the was it the Czech Republic?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Czech Republic president talked to the Russian president, and
Yeah, and she was there for like 2 scenes and then just disappeared.
oh yeah, she went back home to her sitting on the dock of the bay.
Yeah. Like all she did was show up, hey, this is what happened. My dad and your Minister of Defense planned to kill the former Minister of Defense. Here's a recording for you. I'm out.
Okay, bye. Yeah, it wasn't. She didn't do anything. She didn't have like an exit scene, really.
Yep.
Luca kind of had an exit scene, but they left it ambiguous as to what was happening.
Yeah.
They made it seem like he was gonna be executed, but why would he be executed? He saved the country? That doesn't even make sense.
Yep.
So, I don't know. So, okay. I guess, I mean, do you have anything else to say about the episode?
Not really. It was boring. Nothing happened.
Like, they literally could have done, like
this could have been the wrap up at the end of the last episode.
Yeah. And it could have shrunk it down to 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And there's, I don't know. Like I said earlier, there was no suspense, no, like the buildup, the main buildup was for the bomb.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just a little bit of buildup or like suspense or drama, I guess. And then it just kind of fizzled out.
Mm-hmm. Like if they would have taken out the whole finding the ship paper in the last episode, they could have just ended the entire season after that episode.
After the
like there was
they
no
could have
point
like done the they could have talked to. She could have got the information, the recording from the Minister of Defense, and then went and talked to the Russian president the same day,
right,
or the same episode.
Yep.
And then
just ended it. Like the whole ship battle was irrelevant to the entire plot of the story.
Yeah. Because
like it's almost like they were like, hey, we have to have 8 episodes and we're only at 7. How can we make an 8th episode?
I mean, I had a good idea for the 8th episode.
Okay.
Because of the line, like I said, at the end of the 7th episode, I was like, if they do that, that could be pretty freaking interesting.
What was your idea?
So the the dead Minister of Defense wife says there's a line that she says to the Czech Republic president that it's been that she was the first. No, was she the first female president in 200 years? Or she said something about there hasn't been a female president or leader in 200 years or something like that. And then she says something about she would like to see that happen in Russia.
And
it kind of seemed like a throwaway line, but it also could have been a build-up line to plant, some kind of seed in your mind to like where the plot might be going. Is what would have how interesting would it have been if Elena knew about everything, but her father didn't know? Like, she found out what her father was doing. She knew everything, and she was doing all of this. She was letting it proceed, but like kind of letting it get interfered with at the same time.
Okay.
To build herself up and become a more powerful on the world stage. And maybe like there's no way the Czech Republic is going to get one up on Russia. And
right.
I don't think there would be any plausible way where she could pull a coup on the Russian president and become the Russian president, but to at least have it been like she kind of hijacked her father's plan and let it all play out to see, to her benefit.
Yeah, I guess that could have been interesting.
Right. That could have been an interesting play. And then I don't know, they could have either let Jack and everybody else know about it, or at least maybe Jack finds out, right?
Yeah, has some suspicions. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he's found something that could implicate her in some way, but at this point it may or may not matter because the situation's been resolved.
Yeah.
And like maybe there's like the end scene with her and with Jack could have been that conversation where there's this the ending isn't a release but a buildup of tension.
Okay. Yeah.
It wouldn't have mattered because technically the story's over and she's gotten what she's wanted because she's got more power on the world stage, and Russia's not breathing down her neck, and now she's got the NATO bombs. So now she's sitting pretty.
Right.
And he's feeling
like he got duped.
But also at the same time he still saved the world. So I mean that would have been way more interesting.
That's fair. Yeah.
But it also would have pissed me off because the rest of the show was so bad. To end it like that. But the show didn't let me down because it ended off sucking.
Just how it started.
Just how it freaking started.
All right, then.
I don't know. It's... So... I don't know. There was no... Yeah. No suspense, no drama, no mystery,
stakes.
Really.
Yeah.
No what?
Stakes.
Yeah. The stakes seemed relatively low. And like, because right, like what's the movie with The Sum of All Fears?
Okay.
It's a Jack Ryan movie with Ben Affleck.
Never watched it. Okay.
The tension, like this show is kind of like that movie because there's um, a third party faction who's trying to manufacture a war between Russia and the United States. But they actually succeed in detonating a nuclear device in the United States. And so you've got, at the end of the movie, the build-up, the final build-up scene is the United States president and the Russian president yelling at each other via text message, basically.
Okay.
And so, like, you're like, okay, one of these guys could push the button because the vice president gets killed in the explosion. No. Yeah, the vice president gets killed in the explosion, and he was at the football stadium where the device detonated, but they got him out in time. So he's almost killed in this explosion. The vice president is killed. So, like, there's a lot of tension there, right? But there was nobody died in this movie. There's no big, intensity, or it's just a big letdown the whole time.
Yep.
I mean, they had the budget for a helicopter. Where's, the budget for the explosions?
Well, it was a stealth helicopter, so it was really expensive.
Yeah, what the heck is that? Well, the final episode, they're in the United States. They're in Moscow. He's walking around the mountains, and they're on the boat. You've got 4 scenes, 4 settings for no reason.
Uh-huh.
Why?
Because?
Anyway, I guess. I dropped my cup.
I heard. Yep.
Any closing thoughts or critiques for the whole series?
Overall, I'm really disappointed this season. And
if they make the 4th, would you even watch it?
Probably not. Because, like, I remember season 1 being good. Don't really remember season 2 that much. And this one was just kind of meh. So I don't really care anymore.
Yeah, I don't care either. And there was no character development for anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like, nobody's character changed, or, like, Jack Ryan didn't have to make any tough choices.
Right. It's not like he was like, hey, you've got to save the world, or so-and-so's gonna, or let so-and-so die.
Right.
Like, there was no...
Yeah, there's no
stakes. There's
no stakes. There's no moral dilemmas. There's anything like that. Like, I mean, all of the pretty much every single Mission Impossible movie, he has to make a choice whether or not he's going to save the world or save the girl or someone else.
Mm-hmm.
And he chooses the third option to save them both. Like, there's... Or not, because sometimes the girl dies.
Yeah.
But there's no... It just wasn't there. So, yeah, I definitely... I don't understand how these shows have such high ratings. Like, it makes no sense.
I don't get it.
1,600 people on this rated episode 8, and it has an 8.1.
Maybe because there's so much just horrible stuff out there that people are just trying to say that this is better than anything else going on.
Maybe. But the lowest rating on any of these episodes is like a 7.6, 7.5. And it's not even close. Like, if I was going to be realistic, I'd probably give it, the whole season like a 5.
Okay.
And definitely not a rewatch.
Yeah, definitely not worth a rewatch.
Yeah.
I had to watch it twice.
Some of these episodes I had to watch twice because I just could not remember what freaking happened. How do you watch a whole 45-minute episode and don't remember anything? If I didn't have to talk about this with you, the only people's names I would know are Jack and Greer.
Yeah.
Because trying to keep track of people's names...
All the other characters were pointless. Like, they weren't memorable. Yeah.
I don't even know what the president's name was. Of either country. Or all 3 countries.
Yep.
Only reason I said the Czech Republic's president's name is because it's written right there. And I just happened to look over while I was talking about that. And I was like, oh, her name was Elena.
Yeah. Like, the most interesting character out of this entire season was Luca. He was the only one that was interesting at all. Yeah. Or had any kind of authority.
Mystery? And authority. Yeah, I would give him authority too.
Like, when he showed up, people got scared or apprehensive around him.
Yeah. And if they didn't listen to him, he made them listen.
Right.
But, like, none of the CIA people had authority. Because Jack didn't listen to his boss didn't listen to his boss, and then she didn't listen to the president either.
Yep.
And the president didn't act like he had authority. He was just...
governing by committee.
Not even.
Just waiting to see, well, what happens?
Wait and see. Yeah, it was all a wait and see attitude about everything.
Yeah.
And all of their hopes are pinned on Jack doing something miraculous? And all he did was convince people to listen to him and to trust his instinct. And honestly, he really didn't give people a whole lot of evidence.
Right.
I guess he did some towards the beginning, but then it became less and less, and then it was just like, trust me, I got this. For some reason.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sad. Like, they just... definitely a lot of wasted talent. But yeah, Luca's definitely the most interesting character. And his is the only character that I guess it kind of showed like some growth because it showed when he was younger.
Mm-hmm.
For like a minute. And then he, started off killing Russian citizens. And then he ended up saving the country from idiots who wanted to blow it up.
Yep.
And why do people still think trying to start World War III is a good way to go? I know how we're going to make our country strong again. Let's kill 90% of the population. That'll do it.
If you kill 90% of the population, the 10% that survive have to be strong. So,
or they'll get superpowers from all the radiation.
Maybe that was their secret plan, and we just weren't clued into it.
That's in the bloopers or the deleted scenes.
Yeah,
maybe. Well, I don't know what else to say about this show. I'm glad it's over.
I'm glad it's over as well.
And I don't have to watch it anymore or talk about it. So what are we going to watch next? What are we going to do for next time?
You mentioned some show, but I don't remember what it was called.
Did mention some show. I'm trying to remember what it's called. Outer Range on Amazon.
Okay.
Oh, it's another Amazon show. Dadgummit. I don't know now. Oh, gosh. How many episodes is it? Frick. It's 8 episodes. Who's the writer?
Creator is Brian Watkins.
Josh Brolin is in it, so maybe. Jack Ryan. Who's the creator?
It says Brian Watkins.
Brian
So it says he's known
not
for...
the creator of Jack Ryan.
Oh, I don't.
I'm trying to make sure there's no crossover between directors, writers, or anything.
Okay.
Go on.
Yeah, I don't have anything. Like, it looks like this guy hasn't done a whole lot.
Okay. So it's a rancher fighting for his land and family discovers an unfathomable mystery at the edge of Wyoming's wilderness. And I saw a preview, and it seemed pretty interesting. It seemed like a sci-fi western, but not cowboys versus aliens.
You didn't like Cowboys versus Aliens?
Oh, no, I love Cowboys versus Aliens. I don't know why people don't.
Yeah, I had a whole lot of fun with that movie.
Fun cowboy alien movie. It's like, okay, yeah, it's dumb, but it's still fun.
Yeah.
And it was even more fun because it wasn't trying to make fun. Oh, man, we ain't talking about that show.
All right, so yeah, we can do this one, Outer Range, for next week.
Okay. Sounds good. Oh, any last minute thoughts, quotes?
Nope.
Looking forward to never thinking about this show again. All right, everybody. Appreciate you hanging with us if you are hanging with us.
Yeah, and if you are, make sure to like, subscribe, leave some comments down below.
Yep. So the plan is next week we're going to start Outer Range and might just do one episode next week just to kick it off and see how it goes. And yeah, that is all for today.